I'm Chris Heiler, and this is IBN News, the world's only true news source. And today we'll take a closer look at how doctors have discovered a new link between heart disease and HPV. Cancer-causing strands of the human papillomavirus, also known as HPV, may increase a woman's odds for heart disease, even if she doesn't have any of the recognized cardiovascular risk factors a new study suggests. It is the first investigation of a possible link between heart disease and HPV, which is one of the most common sexually transmitted pathogens in the United States and already well known for causing cervical cancer and other malignancies. In their study, researchers analyzed data from nearly 2,500 women, aged between 20 to 59, in the 2003-2006 U.S. National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Of those women, almost 45% carried some form of HPV, and about 23% had the cancer-causing strands of the virus. Researchers found a strong association between cancer-causing HPV strands and heart disease. Now, that was according to the team at the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston. They point out that nearly a fifth of people who have heart disease also don't have common risk factors, such as obesity, smoking, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol. That means that other non-traditional causes may be involved in the development of the disease. HPV appears to be one such factor among women, stated study author Dr. Ken Vujese, Director of Cardiology Division at the hospital. This has important clinical implications, he added. Physicians should monitor patients with cancer-associated HPV to prevent heart attack and stroke, as well as HPV patients already diagnosed with cardiovascular disease to avoid future cardiovascular events. Two experts in women cardiovascular health applauded the research. Dr. Nisa Goldberg, medical director of the Joan H. Tisch Center for Women's Health and Women's Heart program at the NYU Langone Medical Center in New York City, went on to say, "It is great that researchers are thinking out of the box to assess cardiovascular risk in women. If more studies confirm these new research findings linking HPV to cardiovascular disease, this would be an additional tool for doctors to assess a woman's cardiovascular risk. It would also get younger women to take their hearts seriously." Cardiologist Dr. Suzanne Stenbaum, who is Director of Women and Heart Disease at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City, agreed, calling the new study incredibly important, and continued to say that due to public health implications and the pervasiveness of this disease, this correlation sheds a new light on the assessment and risk factor analysis of heart disease in women, many of whom have HPV. This lends a new direction into the understanding of who is at risk for heart disease, and therefore another means for us to prevent it. Now, this study was funded by grants from the American Heart Association. Okay, now here's my dilemma with the findings of what this study has brought forth. Although I agree this study is very important, I disagree that this is a new revelation, as some would say. Now, the confusing part is this. The CDC is now recommending that all children, both boys and girls, take the HPV vaccination shots. In 2006, it was suggested just for girls. But like I just stated, it is now being recommended for both boys and girls. And the success since 2006? Well, the CDC also reported that between 75 and 80% of men and women are infected with HPV during their lifetime, most never having any symptoms. It seems strange to me that with over 3/4 of the population contracting HPV, that those in the medical field would think that a shot would help. I can remember as a young boy my mother speaking of a man who more than 40 years ago was telling our society that diseases such as HPV and other STDs would not only lead to cancer in the body but also heart disease. And in case you missed it, yes, I said over 40 years ago. He seemed to be a man way ahead of his time, or maybe the information he was bringing forth was not a popular choice by the medical profession. We're only left to ponder. Why? After all, most people want to have their cake and eat it too, right? I can only question how we can praise a study today that some willfully ignored when it was first mentioned. Many people today regret not buying stocks in such companies as Exxon, Apple, Microsoft, and Berkshire Hathaway. After all, they could have made millions. So how much more could one regret making an uneducated decision that would have led to their own timely demise? The man, in case you're wondering, has been an educator for many years. His name? Yisrael Hawkins. And he is still bringing forth much information ahead of the medical community. Feeling compelled to get this information out to all of our viewers, of whom we are greatly thankful for, I urge all of you to take this time and get ahead of the information gap. Go to his website and see what the latest news is coming forth from Mr. Hawkins. You can find him on the internet by going to www.yisraelhawkins.com, or you can also find him at www.yahweh.com. After all, it's our jobs here at IBN News to educate our many viewers with the facts, so you can make better decisions for your families and yourselves. From all of us here at IBN News, thanks for joining us.